Tonight we will be presenting a proclamation to the Albany County Department of Health Interim Commissioner, Mary Beth Miller. Congratulating Mary Beth on her retirement. We will miss you and thank you for all of your good work. And I would invite Susan Petto up to the podium to present the proclamation.
It's an honor to be able to recognize Mary Beth Miller for more than 37 years serving as a public health administrator and nurse. She has served both at the New York State level and for Albany County. And she was also a U.S. Navy reservationist. She took part in the training and went to other states for that training. Unfortunately, she did not get to participate in the submarine training because she was pregnant, and they were worried they wouldn't be able to get her out in an emergency.
That's right.
But she returned to Albany County to champion many important public health programs that we have had here over those many years. She led the county's defense against COVID along with Dr. Whalen. And she has been an advocate for immunization programs, for children's health care, and for women's reproductive rights. We are very fortunate to have had her service for all of these years, and we will miss her dearly. Congratulations on your retirement, and thank you for all your service.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's so kind. Thank you so much. I'm almost speechless. Not totally, though. Honorable Chairwoman Cunningham, Willingham, and thank you to the entire legislature with a special shout out to the past and present Health Committee, Honorable Chairman Joyce, Legislator Pito for such a beautiful honor, such beautiful words. I am so appreciative. Thank you to Legislator McLaughlin, Beeston, Miller, Robinson, Collins, and Lockhart, all who have been so supportive over the years, and certainly to the past folks who sat on the Health Committee and all of the committees. I am so thankful for all of your support. I am deeply humbled and honored for this recognition and such kind words. It's just such a lovely thing for you all to do today. Thank you for doing it. I've worked at the health department, and it's been my greatest privilege in life to have been able to do something that I'm so passionate about, and that's public health. I've gotten to spend 37 years doing this, and I often say when people say, you've been doing this for 37 years, I let them know that I started as a child prodigy at the age of 10. So if you're going to be doing the math, 37 and 10, please keep that in mind. To all of you here tonight, I want to thank you for being such great partners in public health. This entire legislature has supported our department for so many years. I've had the honor of working closely with many of you. We've bounced ideas off of one another, and I believe we came up with many programs and initiatives that have really made a difference in this community. Without the support of this legislature, the county executive, and the wonderful staff at the health department, that just wouldn't be possible. And about the staff at the health department, I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of them for the wonderful things they do every day. Some of them actually came here to support me tonight, and I'm so grateful. They are not only my colleagues, they're my friends. Each one of our staff are really good, kind, loving human beings, and I truly mean that from the heart. they possess these qualities, and those qualities come out in everything they do, including all of the programs and initiatives for this community. So I have been blessed to be beside them for so long. I know you have to get to other things, so I'm going to conclude here. Over the years, I'd run into people, whether it be at the grocery store or wherever, and they'd say, "Oh my God, Mary Beth, are you still at the health department?" And I gave my standard answer, and that is, when I stop learning, growing, being challenged, and am no longer passionate about the health and well-being of this county, that'll be the day I leave. And that day never came. It just didn't. Instead, Father Time came. And so I just wish you all a happy holiday. I know many of you folks who are a lot younger than me will continue the great effort of making this a very healthy community. And so thank you again from the bottom of my heart for such a beautiful thing. I am so happy. Thank you. I really am. You and I both.
Congratulations again, Mary Beth. Our next proclamation we will be presenting is to Minority Council Arnis Zilgme. And you're a good actor, Frank. And who will also be retiring after 12 years of service to the Albany County Legislature. And I invite Frank Moriello, our minority leader, to present the proclamation.
Arnis, I had no idea. I had no. Yes, you stand there. Because that's actually a good spot for you to stand. I had no idea this was happening. I just want you to know that. I just wanted to just thank Arnis for his service here to the county. And Arnis and I go back a long time. It started back when, and my conference has already heard this, but I'll mention it anyway. It started back when I was appointed to the Town of Colony Sign Review Board. And I heard this name, Arnis. And I always thought, what's an Arnis? So 4 years later, I get appointed to the town board, and I meet Arnis. He's the town attorney. I said, oh, that's an Arnis. So Arnis and I have worked together 9 years. I was on the town board for 9 years. I was appointed for a year, and then I served 2 full terms. Left the town board, and when I was elected to the county legislature, and Arnis was the counsel to the legislature, I was really relieved because Arnis did such a good job as our town attorney. He always gave great advice. He was very professional, worked with everyone, worked very well with everyone. Here in the legislature, he works with both sides of the aisle. And I told him, your main job is to keep me out of trouble. That was his main job. And he's done a wonderful job of doing that. Arnis lives pretty much right around the corner from me, and he was one of my sponsors, co-sponsors, when I joined the West Albany Rod and Gun Club. And it's fun to go there on Thursday nights. Arnis sometimes is one of the cooks, and it's great to have a meal. But he's done such a wonderful job for the town, for the county, for our constituents, and for all of Albany County constituents, because he can work with both sides of the aisle. He can bring everybody together, and he gives fantastic advice. So Arnis, thank you very much for being our counsel all these years, for serving the county, and really wish you the best in your retirement. He's still going to be working his private practice, but he will be retiring from the county. So Arnis, come on up. Thank you very much. And can I ask our conference to come up for a picture, please?
Thank you. What should we do? Push over? Down this way?
Yeah. So nice.
Am I covering it, Paul? That's fine. I got more pictures of an Arnis in the last 30 years.
Here, look at. Yeah, sorry, I'm pointing.
Thank you. Way to go, Arnis.
I have to make one comment. When I get introduced at times, people say, well, who do you work for? And I say, well, I work for me. And they look at me and they go, I work for myself. And one time Frank heard me, he goes, what? No, Frank, the joke is I'm working for myself. So I'm going to go full-time working for an idiot for myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arnis, for your service, and we wish you the best and appreciate all that you have contributed over the years. The last thing I would like to mention is that we also have our majority council, or not majority council, rather, I'm sorry, the council to the chair, who is also moving on to some greener pastures, I guess we should say. Pat Collins has been a fixture here, a resource, a talented attorney, a really nice guy, the right arm and the left arm of the chair through many different chairs, and someone that we enjoy as a colleague who's just a very knowledgeable person who's also just a pleasant person to work with. Pat is also moving on to stay in Albany County, working for our new district attorney, and so it's a great professional opportunity for Pat, and for that reason, we are sad to see him go, but we are happy for new opportunities that will, of course, be enhancing his own skills and leadership and all of those good things. He'll still be in the building at 112. We'll get to see him. We will stay tuned and give you some details on a Democratic caucus, and we'll invite all of those to celebrate with us, event that we will have to say goodbye to Pat or say, see you on the 8th floor. What floor are you going to be on?
Across the street.
Oh, across the street. A little distance, but Pat, also want to thank you for all your service. You will be missed. We will miss you so much, but really wish you well.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Joanne Cunningham. I'm the current chair of the Albany County Legislature. The rules of the Albany County Legislature allow for a period of public comment before our monthly meetings. Our rules prohibit members of the public from questioning legislators and prohibit us from questioning you. This is your time to speak and our time to listen. In accordance with our rules of order, speakers will be allowed 3 minutes each. I ask everyone to please silence their cell phones. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alex. Beston. Bergdorf. Clay. Clary. Collins. Camiso. Conway. Cunningham.
Here.
Demolowitz. Drake. Efacoro. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Grimm. Andrew Joyce. Ray Joyce. Cohn. LaRilliard. Lakakis. Lockhart. Muriello. Mayo. McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Hurley. Plosky. Reedy. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Simpson. Smith. Whalen. Willingham. 34 present.
Thank you. Clerk, please read the name of the first speaker.
Carol Waterman.
Let's think about Resolution 868. Our county is required to select 2 newspapers where we post our legal notices. So they've chosen 1, the Times Union, an obvious choice. 2, the Evangelist, which is a Catholic publication. Now, of course, I believe that private organizations have every right to choose the Evangelist, but we're a governmental organization. So separation of church and state applies here. I'm Jewish, but I would make the same argument if you had chosen Jewish World. So what should we do? Well, our county happens to have the ideal choice for this, the Altamont Enterprise. Now, the Altamont Enterprise has won way too many awards for me to get to them all, because Joanne isn't going to let me use all that time. Anyway, I'm just going to give you a sample of some of the many. In-depth reporting. Best editorial pages. Best investigative reporting. Best health story, which, by the way, may have saved some lives, and Golden Quill Award, and many, many others. Now, Melissa Hale Spencer, who is the awesome editor of the Altamont Enterprise and is also the owner and the writer of many of the wonderful articles you see there. This year, she won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the International Society of Weekly Newspaper Editors. Now, that's really big, okay? Well, all the others are too. We are very privileged to have this publication which exemplifies the best of grassroots reporting, and we should support this publication. Now, tonight, please use your voice and your vote to say no to 868 and to say yes to separation of church and county. Thank you.
Lynn Jackson?
Good evening. My name is Lynn Jackson. I live in the south end of Albany. I would like to comment on two subjects today. The first one has to do with Resolution 868, which Carol Waterman very much explained about how we have this jewel of a newspaper in Albany County called the Altamont Enterprise. The Albany County Legislature is required to publish legal notices and designate a weekly newspaper in which to publish. The first clause of the First Amendment of the Constitution is freedom of religion. The wall of separation of government and religion is extremely important. In our country today, the wall of separation of government and religion is being torn down, which is really not good for democracy. The United States is not a Christian nation. Is it a nation with people of many different views, many different religions, many different ideas, and that we come together for democracy? Albany County does not have to follow this trend that is destroying this separation. Albany County should not give our tax dollars to the evangelist to publish legal notices. Instead, I believe the Albany County Legislature should publish legal notices in the Altamont Enterprise, a completely award-winning and secular newspaper. Please vote against Resolution 868. So I'd like to change topics and talk about vaccination. Vaccination has saved more lives than any other single human invention. The incoming Trump administration is anti-vaccine. I am appalled at some of the statements that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has made about vaccination. I am old enough to remember polio. It is a horrific disease. There are many other diseases that we've all forgotten about because vaccination works. And in light of this anti-vax stance of the incoming federal government, I am hoping that the Albany County Legislature will work to protect Albany County residents and especially children from this anti-vaccine madness. I ask you please to direct the Albany County Health Department to do whatever it can to make sure that, one, that people are informed about the importance of vaccination and how it saves lives and how we need to continue that, And number two, that people have easy access to vaccines, that it's easy for people to vaccinate their children, that it is easy for people to get their vaccines, their COVID vaccines, which is still very important because COVID is still a real thing. And I hope that the Albany County Legislature will really focus on this. Of all the policies of the incoming federal administration, their stance on vaccination may kill hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans. We need in Albany County to do as much as we can to protect as many people as possible. And I have a short public service announcement for you. We are now coming into the peak of flu season. I'm hoping, if you haven't gotten your flu vaccine yet, that you will go out and get a flu vaccine. If you don't care about getting the flu yourself because you feel you're young and healthy, think about all the old people like me or young people who are much more susceptible to flu. And so I hope that everyone will go get their flu shot. Thank you very much.
Tim Manisha.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Tim Benicia, and we are relatively new residents of the city of Albany, having happily lived the prior 24 years in the town of Bethlehem. It was 6 years and a few months ago that I had the privilege of sitting in the chair back there, without the benefit of the cloaking device, I might add, on the first night that a new counsel to the chair took the seat behind me. On that night, on many days and nights thereafter, his wise counsel helped me fulfill my responsibilities, just as I'm sure he has done for all of you, for many others, both inside and out of county government. I am pleased to join you in your congratulating Pat for his exceptional service, his tireless dedication, and in wishing him well on the next leg of his professional journey in service to the new district attorney. Having spent a wonderful evening recently at the Irish American Heritage Museum, I'd like to leave you with just a few pearls of wisdom from the Irish. They have the hindsight to know where you've been, foresight to know where you're going, and the insight on those very rare occasions, I'm sure, when you've gone too far. Thank all of you for your indulgence this evening and for your service. I hope all of you have a very happy and healthy holiday season. Let's stand.
There are no more speakers.
Is there anyone else in the chamber who wishes to speak? The public forum is now closed. Before we call tonight's meeting to order, we do have a post-public forum audit and finance committee meeting that will take place in the back room. like to call our meeting to order. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would like to ask Patrick Collins, along with Arnis Zilgme, to lead us in the pledge. Clerk, please call the roll.
Alex. Beston. Bergdorf. Paul. I know he's here somewhere. Clay. Cleary. Collins. Camiso. He disappeared? Camiso, I see you. Conway. Cunningham.
Here.
Demolowitz. Drake. Efacoro. Ethier. Feeney. Fine. Grimm. Andrew Joyce. Is he in the back? Ray Joyce. Kuhn. LaRilliard. Lakakis. Lockhart. Moriello. Mayo. McLaughlin. McLean Lane. Miller. Petto. Purley. Plosky. Reedy. I know he's there. Reinhardt. Ricard. Robinson. Rosano. Simpson. Smith. Whalen. Willingham. 35 present.
Thank you. And please also note, Clerk, that Legislator Plotsky came in during the public forum.
Yes, I did. I call you.
I figured, but just in case. Clerk, please read 834.
Amounts levied for the sewer district number 1 in the town of Bern.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 835, please.
Amounts levied for the fire and ambulance districts in the town of Bern.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 836, please.
Amounts levied for fire, water, sewer, lightning, and ambulance districts in the town of Bern.
All those in favor?
Bethlehem, sorry.
Thank you. All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 837, and please note the updated language on your desks.
Amount levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in the Bethlehem Water District.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 838, please.
Amount levied for fire districts in the town of Queens.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 839, please.
Amount levied.
Oh, sorry, 840, please.
Is it 839?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right, 839, please. Sorry.
Amount levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in the town of Queens.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 840.
Amounts levied for fire, water, sewer, lightning, refuse, and garbage collection districts in the town of Colony.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 841, and please note the updated language at your desks.
Amounts levied for unpaid water charges in the Latham Water District, town of Colony.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 842, please.
Amounts levied for fire, ambulance, water, lightning, and sewer districts in the town of Guilderland.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 843.
Amounts levied for unpaid water charges in the Guilderland Water District.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 844.
Amounts levied for fire and lightning districts in the town of Knox.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 845.
Amounts levied for burn, Fire District in the town of Knox.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 846.
Amount levied for the fire protection, ambulance, lightning, water, and sewer districts in the town of New Scotland.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 847.
Amounts levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in the town of New Scotland.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 848.
Amount levied for fire and lightning districts in the town of Rensselaerville.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 849.
Amount levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in Rensselaerville, Water and Sewer District Number 1.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 850.
Amounts levied for fire, lightning, and water districts in the town of Westerlo.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 851, please.
Amount levied for unpaid water charges in the town of Westerlo for Water District Number 1.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 852.
Amounts to be levied and assessed for highways, bridges, and miscellaneous highway purposes in the towns.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 853.
Amount levied to pay town budgets.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 854.
Re-levy of unpaid school taxes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 855.
Re-levy of unpaid village taxes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 856.
Amount levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in the city of Albany.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 857.
Authorize the levy upon the city of Albany property of the amount needed for various purposes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 858.
Amount levied for unpaid water and sewer charges in the city of Waterville.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 859.
Authorizing the levy upon the city of Waterville property of the amount needed for various purposes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 860.
Amounts levied for municipal charges for various cities and towns.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 861.
Adoption of table of equalization for the assessment year 2024, county tax year 2025.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 862.
Adoption of partial tax exemptions and amounts determined as the assessed valuation of real property as basis of equalization.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 863.
Adopting county equalization rates for 2024 for the cities and towns within the county of Albany.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 864.
Authorizing levies for debit and credit balances.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 865.
Amounts levied for court-ordered refunds and county taxes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 866.
Taxes to be appropriated and levied upon the several cities and towns in the county for various purposes and for the special district taxes in the towns.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 867.
Approval of extensions and tax rolls of form and amounts in tax warrants and authorizing their execution.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. 868, please.
Designation of newspapers for publication of legal notices.
Just a note about, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, just a note about this because it did come up in the public hearing. We have Albany County Legislature has a process where we require bids. We are bound to the proposals, to the two proposers that submit the bids. So we can have plenty of discussions about other options, but we can't legally choose a non-proposer. Mr. Bergdorf.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm not going to speak very long on this, because I know people have lots of places to go. I would just tell you, I think this is something that this legislature has been passing year in, year out. It's a template that you dust off and you put back in. But when we took a look at the state law says consideration shall be given to those newspapers advocating the principles of the two major political parties into which the people of the state are divided in their general circulation throughout the county. So I took a look, as did our staff, with at the RFP, and the RFP did not make any attempt to verify those conditions that are in the state law. So I am not looking to undo anything. I'm asking us if we would consider just sending it back to law. I've been told by our counsel that the two papers still remain in place so that we could at least have a discussion as to whether or not our RFP process is in compliance with the law. This is a one-year appointment, and with two renewals, if we don't at least take a look at the issue today, we've got to potentially adopt something that may not be consistent with the law for 3 years. So I'd ask to be considered for this to go back to law and leave the Times Union and the Evangelists the way they are while we take a look at this. Thank you very much.
Mr. Purley.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I would agree with Legislator Bergdorf that the state law requires a process, and it appears that at least in the drafting of the RFP, that process may not have been adhered to, so I would support the idea of sending it back to law. I would also state, I'm not Catholic, but I have no problem with the Evangelist being one of the publications. There's no part of the Constitution that is more often misunderstood and misconstrued than the separation of church and state provision of the First Amendment. And it's a matter of well-settled law in New York State that a publication that is religiously affiliated can be the recipient of public notices, provided it has a general circulation, a meaningful general circulation, which the Evangelist certainly does. I would also just like to support and in fact amplify some of the comments that were made about the Altamont Enterprise, which I would also note the official name is the Altamont Enterprise and Albany County Post. So it's not just a gem that is confined to my part of the county, but it really has a county-wide coverage and its focus. It is a gem of a newspaper. It's a community resource. It is generally fair. It is always comprehensive, and it's mostly accurate. And for those reasons, I would support it as a great choice and a perfect substitute for the Albany Times Union. Thank you.
Thank you. Long roll call. Mr. Ethier.
Yes, it's a question I'd like to ask all my colleagues. In all the years we've been doing this, has anybody in your districts ever brought to your attention about our newspaper publicized? Has anybody had any feedback from the constituents who say the village?
Yes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So we got 1 out of 39 that had some feedback. Thank you.
Mr. Kuhn.
Yeah, so can you, I want to understand better what you're saying on this one. Please explain more.
Sure, absolutely. I wish I had the RFP with me. There are criteria that we're supposed to judge an official newspaper, and I read you the criteria, and consideration shall be given to those newspapers advocating the principles of the two major political parties into which the people of the state are divided. And there is nothing in our RFP that we have asked people to circulate that tests that concept, asking people to make an argument. How do they consider diverse opinions, what they consider to be equity or equitable opinions, and therefore, we are not compliant with the section of the county law. I didn't write the county law. It's been here for a long, long time, and I'm not suggesting doing anything drastic, but I'm just saying that we might want to add a criteria that gives folks, when they re-propose for this, at some point in time in the future, to say, could you tell us how you comply with that section of the county law, as opposed to just, hey, what's your circulation, what's your cost? Because it's not just a circulation and cost issue. When you confer a monopoly on someone, a paper that's going to get, tremendous amount of money because we say so, and there are criteria in the law that we haven't considered, we should at least have a discussion if that's appropriate.
Well, if I may,
Sure.
we have the law committee, and these things really should have been frankly raised during law, and we could have discussed the finer points of these provisions of the county law at that time, but to raise them now.
It did not go to the law committee. It just
Well, you
came
can
out
say
on
it
the
was
agenda.
law.
It just came out on the agenda.
Oh.
It did not go to committee.
Oh.
And that's why I'm asking that it go to committee, because I could not agree with you more. It should have been discussed by the law committee.
Mr. Demolowitz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. With respect to the Audubon Enterprise, I can assure you, no one in my district reads it. Probably the other, it's not a county-wide circulated newspaper. But the simple fact is, these two newspapers been designated by this legislature for the 30 years I've been here. And if there's any legal challenges, do you think they would have been brought up by them? I don't know, I think there's something to be said for legal precedents, isn't there? I'm not a lawyer, I don't pretend to be a lawyer. But we've been designating these two newspapers for as long as I can remember, and they've been doing an outstanding job. So I hope we still continue supporting these two newspapers. Thank you.
Thank you. Long roll call on the resolution.
Alex.
Yes.
Beston.
In favor.
Bergdorf.
Didn't you make a motion to send it back to the law committee?
There was no second, so this is a vote on the underlying resolution.
I did make a resolution. I asked that it go back to law. Now, whether it's seconded, that's another story.
Our council has indicated we didn't have a second, and we are voting on the underlying resolution 868.
Point of order.
There wasn't a second.
Requested or asked for?
Motion to sustain the chair.
I'm sorry.
Motion to sustain the chair.
Thank you.
The chairwoman has called for a long roll call on the resolution that's being taken out now.
Please continue, clerk.
Bergdorf.
Aye.
Clary.
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Yes.
Demolowitz. Drake.
Yes.
Efficoro.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Graham.
Yes.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Ray Joyce.
Yes.
Kuhn.
Yes.
LaRilliard. Lakakis.
Yes.
Murriello.
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin. McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller.
Aye.
Peto. Hurley.
No.
Pulaski.
Yes.
Reedy.
Yes.
Ricard.
Aye.
Robinson.
No.
Lozano.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Whalen. Willingham.
Yes.
33 yes, 2 no.
Thank you. Please read Resolution 869.
Appointment of the Minority Council of the Legislature.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution passes. Please read 870.
Amending various resolutions regarding the disbursement of American Rescue Plan funding.
Please also note that there is a paragraph that was supposed to be deleted but was left in, and it is the highlighted language that is on page 3. All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Moving on to local law J.
A local law of the County of Albany, New York, imposing a tax on the occupancy of hotel rooms in Albany County.
And please also note that this was signed into law by the governor over the weekend. The chapter law referenced on the first page is 587. Mr. Grimm.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I rise in strong opposition to this hotel tax. And I begin with this question. Is one of the real problems in Albany County that we don't tax people enough? Is that really one of our problems? The fact of the matter is, if you look at the numbers here, this would be $800,000 a year for that 0.5%, based on the own estimates that are found in the 2025 budget. And this is legislation over 3 years. That's $2.4 million. This is real money. It's money that's going to the government that could instead been in the hands of real people. People say we need this for economic development. My question would be, how will we charging visitors for a hotel room more money attract more visitors? It won't. It makes us less competitive. And the people that are going to get taxed are the very people we say we want to attract in the name of economic development. That's money that they spend could otherwise go to local businesses, local restaurants, local events. That's money that won't be able to be spent because we're going to raise taxes. We have the money to support economic development without raising taxes. We've seen how much other money we have. At the end, the fiscal report from the controllers indicate at the end of the last year, we had a $139 million fund balance. $139 million. Now the fund balance fluctuates during the course of a year, but that's an indication of just how much money we have available. Money that certainly could have been used for economic development. We get $2.5 million a year from the Rivers Casino for doing nothing. Because we're a neighboring county, that's what the law requires. They have to share some of the revenue. In this case, it's $2.5 million. That alone could be plenty enough money for economic development. We just are pretty much spending $60 million of ARPA fund that we used in the last few years. It's going to be pretty much the money has been indicated where it's headed. But that's money that otherwise we may have had to spend with other money in the budget. So that was a help. The Stage Act, we will spend $12 million on the Stage Act by the end of 2025. That it was created just a few years ago out of the blue. So that's money that we have. So my point again is there's money to fund economic development without raising taxes, which is taking more money from people's pockets. Look at the neighboring counties, all of them, Saratoga, Schenectady, Rensselaer County, they're below 6% on their hotel tax. And that makes us less competitive when people are, especially large groups, are planning a convention or something, an association meeting. When they have neighboring counties to look at, we're less competitive. So we can support economic development, and we can support the taxpayers, and this hotel tax, this $2.4 million tax hike does not do that. That's why I'm opposed and will vote no. Thank you.
Okay, long roll call, please. Oh, Mr. Drake, sorry.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, New York State and the county failed to come to an agreement to properly allocate the sales tax that we're collecting now. I think most people are familiar with that. From which at least 1% should be available to us for the Albany County Alliance and other programs. Knowing we haven't been able to fix that, some colleagues and I put forward a good faith effort to reallocate the aforementioned gaming money toward economic development. In fact, I support Advance Albany Alliance and other economic development programs, especially in my role as economic development committee person. So much that I wanted to fund as much money as possible, a lot more than a 0.5% sales tax. I think a lot of people were with me on that. The problem we have here is that when we're trying to attract business here, if you look at Saratoga County, there's a 2.5% spread in pricing between us under this new regime new taxing regimes, and what they're doing. Right now, it's 2%, so we're just making it worse. And I think that from the various interviews I had with hotel and convention people, they said, look, when we get the RFPs out there, we're winning these by really slim margins. And I think 2.5% on a $100,000 or $200,000 convention is a lot of money, and it matters. And so, as much as I support all of this, and I continue to support the efforts that we're making, and quite frankly, we need more money. We just bought St. Rose. We've got to support that. But I think we can do it in other ways. And so I find it very difficult to support economic development by erecting hurdles to economic development put up against small businesses. So regardless of my support for Advanced Albany Alliance, I have to vote no on additional taxes. Thank you.
Thank you. Long roll call, please.
Alex.
Yes.
Beston.
Yes.
Bergdorf.
No.
Clary.
Yes.
Collins. Camiso.
Yes.
Conway.
No.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Demolowitz.
Yes.
Drake. Afakoro.
Yes.
Ethier.
Yes.
Feeney.
Yes.
Fine.
Yes.
Grimm.
No.
Andrew Joyce.
Yes.
Ray Joyce.
Yes.
Kuhn.
Yes.
LaBrilliard.
Yes.
Lakakis.
Yes.
Mariello.
No.
Mayo.
Yes.
McLaughlin.
Yes.
McLean Lane.
Yes.
Miller.
Aye.
Peto. Purley.
No.
Pulaski.
Yes.
Reedy.
Yes.
Ricard.
Aye.
Robinson.
Yes.
Rosano.
Yes.
Smith.
No.
Whalen.
No.
Willingham.
Yes.
I have 26 yes, 9 no.
Resolution passes. Moving on to the Rule 11s, as is customary on the last meeting of the year, we have a number of Rule 11s. First, we have a Rule 11 related to the endorsement of a grant application of the South Albany Airport. Can I have a motion to invoke Rule 11? Motion by Mr. Demolowitz, second by Mr. Ricard. All those in favor of invoking Rule 11? Rule 11 is invoked. Clerk, please read Resolution 871.
Endorsing the submission of a grant application by the South Albany Airport regarding the Aviation Capital Grant Program.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Next, we have a Rule 11 related to the audio-video for the legislative chambers through ARPA funds. Can I have a motion to invoke Rule 11? Mr. Demolowitz, second by Ms. McLean Lane. All those in favor of invoking Rule 11? Any opposed? Rule 11 is invoked. Clerk, please read Resolution 872.
Authorizing the disbursement of American Rescue Plan funding to and agreements with the Albany County Legislature and the Albany County Department of Management and Budget and amending the 2024 Albany County budget.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Finally, we have Rule 11 to amend Resolution 830 for 2024 to correct the amounts in the election chargebacks for the 2023 election cycle. Can I have a motion to invoke Rule 11? Mr. Feeney, a second. Ms. McLean Lane. All those in favor of invoking Rule 11? Any opposed? Rule 11 is invoked. Clerk, please read Resolution 873.
Amending Resolution Number 830 for 2024 regarding the Board of Elections expenses for the 2023 election cycle.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Resolution passes. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Feeney, second by Ms. McLean Lane. We are adjourned. All those in favor? We are adjourned.